Nope. Stop right here. This ain't Selma 1965. But what if it was? On March 7th, 1965, 600 civil rights marchers walked from Selma to Montgomery, demanding voting rights. They were led by John Lewis and Hosea Williams. They were unarmed, disciplined, and determined. Waiting for them? Alabama state troopers with gas, clubs, horses, and hate. Now picture a different America. Same bridge, but different faces. White Americans marching for their right to vote in a system run by black governors, black judges,
You are guilty.
and black police. Imagine this scene in your history book. A terrified, beaten, white teenage girl, face down on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. The air is thick with screams and smoke. The bridge echoes with the sound of terror. Black police officers, state troopers, and local deputies are assaulting other Americans with tear gas, whips, and clubs. Mounted officers charge into the crowd on horseback. Men, women, children are trampled. As reporters try to film, they are attacked for even holding a camera. TV cameras roll as marchers kneel, hands raised, pleading not to be struck. All while, a proud black governor can be heard on the radio
They're not protesters, they're lawbreakers.
calling it law and order while the world watches in disbelief. An image too powerful to ignore. It's strange, right? Seeing history flip like that. The faces are different, but the pain, the fear, the courage, they are the same. But the truth doesn't change. It only becomes clear. What we see and how we see it matters. Perspective matters. Inversion isn't fiction. It's a lens. It asks us to feel history, not just read it. To confront empathy, not just offer an opinion. Because sometimes the only way to see the truth is to turn the picture upside down. The 1965 Selma-Montgomery mobilizations were the first time America saw itself on national television. Not the idea of America, but its reflection in a broken mirror. Millions watched from living rooms across the country as unarmed black Americans were beaten. Americans brutalizing Americans. The truth was no longer whispered in the South. It was broadcast to the world. It was the day the lie of equality came undone. The day conscience became impossible to ignore. The day known as Bloody Sunday changed many things. It was a mirror held up to the nation's soul. When people saw what happened on that bridge, something shifted inside homes, hearts, and history itself. Over the course of the 3 Selma-to-Montgomery marches, white participation was pivotal because it forced the rest of America to see civil rights not just as a black issue, but as a human issue. The images of black and white citizens beaten together for demanding voting rights stirred public support across the country.
We marched with Selma.
Jim Crow must go, and go now. Times are changing.
On March 25th, 1965, the final march to the state capitol in Montgomery succeeded, drawing about 25,000 participants, including more than 5,000 white allies who walked beside their fellow Americans for freedom and equality. Within months, President Lyndon B. Johnson addressed Congress, quoting the movement's own anthem, "We shall overcome." And by August 1965, the Voting Rights Act became law. One moment of televised truth became a turning point in American democracy, not because it was new, but because the lens finally showed what had always been there. That's why the Inversion Project exists, not to change the past, but to change how we see each other through stories that shape who we are. Because the truth about the march at Selma is this: the moment America saw what hate looked like, change became possible. Proof that when we choose to look from the other side of the lens, we see what connects us. We've come a long way since 1965, but even now, our country and our world still face many challenges. The difference today is that we have the freedom to see from every side, to understand before we judge, and to connect before we divide. At the Inversion Project, we believe there are more of us who want to stand together than apart. If you agree, or if this story spoke to you, subscribe to the Inversion Project and check the video description to learn how to join our community and support what we are building together.